I want to say thank you to everybody who decided to watch this video. And I want to send a special shout out to my patrons and Twitch subscribers. You guys help me make this channel better. And I want to say, enjoy the show.
Now, did Democrats sell out labor and take corporate contributions? Absolutely. So your answer to a revanchist far right that's doing even more than any previous administration on labor is to go back into history and bitch about Democrats fucking up on that issue. What we on the actual left who care about actually achieving things are doing is fighting all of these fronts simultaneously. But actually, in fact, focusing now on the main threat. I said if you were in a swing state, vote for Hillary because I wanted to keep the main threat and the main problem be those fucking neoliberals and corporatists that we do have to defeat, not galloping fascists. But you know what? It's a good business model. Outrage is a good business model.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. When you're a responsible member of a family, it sucks. It just 100% sucks. And yeah, that was the thing that happened. So if you don't know, I was supposed to start the stream a little bit earlier than what I did. So I started streaming at 8 o'clock today. But yeah, this was the thing that happened where I just, be y'all honest with you guys, I had to be a responsible, like, brother and son. So, yeah, that's the thing that happened. So, how's everybody doing today? This is my first day back after the long ass weekend, and yeah, that was the thing that happened. I've actively told my supervisor that I was gonna miss yesterday, but I was gonna call off because they didn't give me the time that I needed. And yeah, no, like I was not pulling punches with that. And yeah, that was the thing that happened. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Oh, there was another hell of a boss that dropped. Oh no, that they watching the older episode. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I am. That was the thing that happened. I was a little bit late, so yeah, you have to forgive me. I'm a little bit tired. Still just making sure I come in and get set up for you guys as soon as I actually got in. What's up, Icon? And we're gonna be doing this. And this is gonna be it. This is gonna be us addressing this issue. Oh God. Not that I have a problem with it, it's just that what did I set myself up to do? Anyway. Where's my playlist? Talk amongst yourself. Yeah, I watch Hell of a Boss. It's actually really, really fun. I want to see Has Been Hotel, but I know that's on like a streaming service, so I know that one is not one that I'm gonna be able to see. Here it goes. So yeah, I am. Let's start to get down to business. Yeah. So I want to put it on 1.25 because, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of this today, but it was actually an interesting conversation. And I do have to let you guys know that I did watch this already. So I know if you're looking for a fresh response, I actually watched this already, but I think it has some conversation that we need to go over. So let's get this show started. All right. So, as a lot of you know, that I have, let's just be honest with you. I am somebody who upfront just hate fucking racism. I know it's that sounds pretty quaint and special and all that other good shit, but I fucking hate racism. I hate to have people who claim to hate racism also use some of the same tactics and tricks and phrasing that you see other races have. Um, I am a strong component of, yeah, sometimes you fight fire with water, sometimes you fight it with fire. But when you think you're fighting fire with water, but you're really using gasoline, there's a problem. It has been known that I have had disagreements with a lot of these cornbread tubers. Hell, one of my biggest videos recently was the fact that I had a disagreement with cornbread tube and all this other good shit. And I don't say that lightly as a way of just saying, I want to just get on these people for clout. No, I really think that some of the messages that they have, and I'm not saying, no, you agree on 95%, because no, we don't. Because a lot of them, if you go to their channels, it's not about ending capitalism. It's about fighting white capitalism with black capitalism, which you don't do. I wonder who said that shit, which a lot of these people tend to forget, but I digress. So we're gonna actually go over this conversation, a recent conversation that, with all of the
Hey, can you hear me?
with all of the backlash has been going on with the whole cornbread tube versus people that they feel are trash pandas. And so we're going to go through that and we're going to actually see exactly how this conversation went. And like I said, I've watched it before. With me, I had to watch it because of just the veracity of the conversation. But I will tell you this, it is nowhere we're getting through the whole 3 hours of this conversation. Is not tonight. Not the way I'm feeling, not how tired I am, and the fact that I have to work tomorrow morning. But let's start on this conversation. It'll probably be a part two. I still have to put out that compiled conversation with going over the Rico Rants and Joe Lewis. But let's get to it. So let's go.
Hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Did you want to have you can have video on. I set everything up so you can have your video up if you'd like to have your video on.
Sure. Let me see if it'll.
This is just the intro. Let's skip ahead.
I think perhaps part of what puts it in the uncanny valley for me is like a personal nightmare of like I get nervous even getting overwhelmed with dono messages, which does happen. Right after listening to a video by another creator named Foreign Man in a Foreign Land. I had some negative things to say about the Foreign Man in a Foreign Land video.
And by the way, we went over that Foreign Man in a Foreign Land video, and it was just trash. It was incoherent. The points didn't make any sense. Even the title of the video was deceptive, even after he changed the shit. Because most of the people that he talked about was hetero people. But yeah, let's go.
Straight up with that. I had a lot of critiques for it. And my conversation with Soul Bunny was generally friendly, although it was divisive because there were things said about various topics, one of which is yourself, that caused a reaction from a lot of people. And I think that's fair. I think that a lot of people had genuine opinions to express and genuine frustrations. And this whole thing has been rather complicated and hard to follow for a lot of people, myself included. So I guess maybe the way that we should start this off, besides the way that I already have, is just to ask you, like, for you, from your perspective, where did this start? What started this whole thing? What as far as you can tell, what started this whole thing?
Okay, so Shark was a little bit late on the ammo fire from what they were actually saying. It was some of us who, like myself, and I'm not claiming to be some prophet or anything of that nature. But it's some of us who saw some of this shit from the beginning. Like the first video I did here, the first video that I did with FD was, hold on, give me a second. I'm just pulling it up right now. The first video I did with FD, just going back to it. Make video assets defend their positions live against the streamers they're talking about. Shh, they would never do that. That'd be, no, that's not. Don't do that to them. Yeah, the first video I did about FD, it was back in May of 2022, and yeah, it was just that bad. It was just that bad. But I thought the flying milk was here. I guess that was the first video. Yeah, oh well. But yeah, no, that it was that bad. Oh yeah, no. When Noah went to talk to Vosh, it was hilarious because Noah got talked the fuck out. But let's go back to this video. Let's continue.
What started this whole thing, honestly, personally, was the that Soul Bunny video. Where I don't even remember what the whole video was about. I didn't watch the whole video. But I did look at the parts like 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. It really, what started it really was the break bread video. That was the real problem. That was the break bread video where it was actually FD's video that actually started the whole shit. Now, what happened was, Vosh made a comment. What about Demon Mama? She's not a debate, bro. What about Shark? He's not a debate, bro. He's a live streamer. And what gets me is a lot of these people conflate live streamers with debate bros. I'm a live streamer. I have live streams that I talk about their dumbass videos with. I'm not a debate bro. Now, I can hold my own in a conversation. You guys seen that. I've held my own in conversations. But I'm not a debate bro. I'm just confident. And I'm not one of these, self-deprecating all the time in order to make you feel like, ooh, type bullshit. What's up, Archer? Let's go.
She mentioned me. I remember she and they.
Yeah, she that. Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, where they mentioned me in their video, and then when they went off on me, they went candid and went off on me and everything. Yeah. And after that happened, I didn't know that it happened. I'm actually not on Twitter necessarily that much. I tweet like a reasonable amount. Nothing too crazy.
Hey. You're. I guess this was before the change. So, remember, we're calling it a 15-year-old boy's idea of super cool X. But let's go.
I don't like scroll through my timeline super often, and I don't like look at my notifications super often. And actually, on my phone, I have Twitter notifications turned off, so I don't get a lot of ads that people do of me unless it's like after the fact, after take a couple days and scroll through. So
which is wise.
Yeah, I just want to start to spend a little less time on Twitter, so not getting a reason to go back on is
okay. So hear me out. Just bear with me on this. Like, if we're gonna still call it Twitter for right now because Elon Musk doesn't technically have the rights to X yet. Help me out with this, people. Now, I'm somebody who I love social media. I actually cut my cable off because I do YouTube. I watch YouTube or streaming services. What's the fascination with staying on Twitter for a long period of time? I don't get it. Like, either I'm playing my game, I'm watching like shows that I like to watch, I'm I'm drawing like I've just been working on this lately. Working on my art. What's the fascination with staying on Twitter for so long? I get it. It has porn. I mean, it has art. Yeah, art on it. But what's the fascination with Twitter? I get why some people actually do it because it spreads like, and I put my art on Twitter. Like, yeah, that's what I do. But just doom scrolling, I don't get it. Like, and then you'll hear people that say like, and Shark is smart. He was like, yeah, I don't really want to spend that much time on Twitter, and he doesn't. But like, you get people like Twitter's a cesspool, and I hate Twitter, but spend like their daily limit of tweets within like an hour. Like, I don't get it. Maybe that's just me, but let's go.
It's nice when I don't get the notifications. Sometimes I forget it exists.
Yeah, YouTube comments are more engaging.
But yeah, a couple. I think I saw the video about like 3-4 days after the first like big clip was posted, like the big clip that I saw, and I got added in it with her like calling me a slur and basically calling me Vash's pet dancing monkey.
Yikes.
And I was like, damn, that's like not cool. And then I said something, and then they started to like close in and descend. Have you ever played Vampire Survivors?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like that when like the round starts and like the screen closes in as they come in on you, and then that's when that happened, right? And then over the course of like the next couple of days, it started to ramp up until I had everything, and then I went kind of silent as I put together my video. At first, I didn't want to say anything, but then after things like progressed, I was like, okay, things need to be said now, and then I had to make a response. But it started with that video, honestly, and they picked it up. I will say one thing: I did listen to your entire conversation that you had with her. One thing that I felt like that was super interesting was that at like nearing the end or something, she was like, everybody always takes things, everybody keeps things going for way too long. Everything happens like everybody feels like they need to, well, she didn't say that, but she was like, everything goes on for too long. They make these things.
And this is telling because I watched the So Money video. Oh God, I just okay, all right, we're going with it, but I'm gonna let him cook. Though from what I hear, Twitter can get you the scoop on news pretty quickly compared to syndicated mainstream media. Yeah, that's before Elon fucked everything up.
Things go on for too long. These issues that they brought up with me, how old are they? They're minimum 1 year, right?
I mean, I think that if I recall correctly, the main the main thrust was some commentary that you had made on the Cat Black situation between Vosh and Cat Black.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
between her and Vosh.
That was
and
like
I think probably get you the date on that. It's definitely at least a year. I think it's well over a year now.
And I think the Professor Flowers stuff, I think that's at least is that closing in on 2? I think it's definitely
it's closing in on 2 years. Now, here's the thing about the Cat Black and Vosh shit. That was messy and shouldn't have happened in public. Now, I will say this. Nobody, and I'm in a lot of I'm in for Facebook groups for swingers and poly people and all the other good shit. We know not to hash that shit out on the timeline on Facebook or in instant messaging in a group message. That should have stayed where it was. Now, granted, Kat was wrong on that one. I'm not gonna lie. And just to talk about somebody's genitals like that, like, I am a big fan of memory. I like titties. And I will never actually shame somebody's breast or shot size, shape, or saggage in public like that. That's just out of line. You don't just, like, no. And the thing about it is, was the comment about people that may have racial issues like to engage in race play, was that something that if it was said by somebody different, like if it was the genders were swapped, would that have gone on? Would have that gone okay? Yeah, that would have definitely gone okay. If a black woman said that about a white man, it would have been clapped. It would have been, you go, queen. But again, I'm not going to defend every action that Vosh takes, but just like a lot of other people, he can be emotional to a point. But yeah, no. Even though it was a valid comment from what he felt, he did it out of anger, and yeah, that it was like I just said, hella messy.
Closing in on 2 years, if not 2 years old by this
Oh
point.
God, that's very old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got the stream right here, right now. Vosh's stream about this, and it was from March 15th of 2022. So yeah, well over a year would have been the sort of inciting incident that was talked about here. And for the Professor Flowers, yeah, I think that's over 2 years now. And I've gone on the record as saying like I never want to hear Professor Flowers Vosh drama. Like those words in a combination cause my brain to immediately shut off. It's like I don't even know like the level of conflict. I saw all that. I did a stream at the time, and I genuinely thought it would be sort of over in a week. I thought it would be.
And you know what? Here's the thing about something like that, about that whole thing. All Professor Flowers had to do was say, no, we don't think that ethnic cleansing is a way of actually solving issues that may have arrived from colonization. But Professor Flowers kept doubling down, saying that colonized people should be able to do whatever they want to the colonizers. Great, dig their bones up and smash them to paste. I don't give a fuck. That's not an excuse to ethnically cleanse a country. At that point, you want revenge. Stop with the bullshit. You don't want, justice or restorative justice. You want revenge, or at least to be able to have it in your back pocket. I'm tired of people actually saying that, oh, well, he tricked her. No. If I'm not trying to posture, here, I actually just like working on putting the clip up when I'm talking to the black pill people. I'm not trying to posture. I'm saying, hey, why don't you treat people like you want them to treat you? Not trying to posture, not trying to sit back. And when you're doing that, when you're having an open and honest conversation and not trying to posture, then you don't get trapped in lyrical fucking. I almost said lyrical because I'm thinking about music, but in fucking rhetorical traps. And it wasn't even a rhetorical traps. Literally, if you're looking at that debate, hey, please say that you disavow genocide. Oh yeah, I disavow genocide, but colonized people. Oh wait, no, stop. And then to say like, okay, colonizer. What do you mean by that? White people? Wait, what? Stop. But I digress.
People were mad. You said this. You weren't super good about this. Whatever, and then it would be done like anything. But the fact that it's still being brought up in videos now and is wild to me. And I don't know how to parse that completely outside of like grudges being nursed. And I don't want to.
Oh no, I know why that still keeps bringing up. Simply put, because Professor Flowers went online and actually said she was being harassed. And what happened was, when it was asked, can you show me that it was Vosh fans or people in Vosh community so we can kick them out of the community, the comments that she got were they were wrong. That she was wrong. Oh, I got harassed by neo-Nazis? Oh yeah, no, they but they're Vice fans. It's like, you guys will never go against a conservative. You guys will never really go up against a conservative, will you? But I go against conservatives. And some of the shit they say, you know what I was called one time? I was called like I look like a lunch lady. I said that shit was creative. But I'm digressing. Let's go.
Downplay things because, like, God knows, I mean, I've dealt with some shit that I will be very blunt about and say, like, hey, shit that has been done to me and said about me in these spaces, Like, I'm not gonna like if somebody asks me about it, I'm not gonna not talk about it. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, whatever. But also, there's no like, I'm not making videos about it or dropping it into video segments and firing shots, you know, all this time later. And I feel like I have pretty solid receipts if I even wanted to do so, but I don't. And,
yeah, it's just that
I don't know. It burns for so long, and it's surprising to me.
Yeah, my thing is just like, I don't know. Throughout the conversation, I don't know. I was just like, because this happens a lot, okay? This happens online a lot, where something big happens or something happens at all, and then when it's new to you, that's when you think that it's new, and then you start talking about it like it's new, and then it starts to pick up again. So like they came on and they started like to you know, wax and you know what.
And you know what? In contrast to the conversation with Soul Bunny, this is more of a contrast of like two people that are used to talking. These are two people that used to having conversations with another person, not just preaching at another person talking. And that's the one thing I found with that. Sometimes because of the Discord lag, they'll talk over each other, but it seems like a conversation. Now, I don't know if that's because a lot of these people can't talk to people outside of their own sphere that may have a disagreement with them, but a lot of these people, Noah Sampson, fucking FD when he went on Sharks, and that's what really got Shark in like the crosshair. So when he made FD look like a fucking clown. But these people have a hard time trying to talk to somebody when they're trying to posture and, you know, articulate words that they don't even fucking know how to use in a way where they don't come off looking like idiots and need the power of an editor to make them sound coherent. Well, let's continue.
When, you know, waxing poetically about how it sucks so much that my 15-second clip that I made, this is them speaking, like my 15-second clip that I made, it's all these people's fault for continuing to talk about it, when I just think that it's actually your fault for you making it in the first place. Like it's somebody else's fault for...
I hit you, and it's your fault for saying something about it. You just hit me in my jaw. It didn't even hurt, but the fact that it's annoying. And now I'm going to look at you like I'm going to attack you, and you have an issue? Fuck out of here.
For like talking about something that you brought up that was over a year old. My thing is that I just feel like it's a hypocritical to be like, I can't believe people are having this continue for so long when you just appeared in the space and then just started to talk about it again like it just happened yesterday when all this stuff was like a year old. I'm not saying that you can't talk about it. I'm just saying that it just seems I think it like builds a character for me, because when I watch your video, if I'm gonna be honest with you, when I watch your like discussion, I think it like they were like, oh, like his response solidified my opinion of him in my mind, which is something that I didn't really, which something I thought was going to happen. And I didn't really care, and I didn't make. I'm not. Did you see my video that I made?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay.
So we went over part of that video, and one of the parts that I actually did, and with I stand by. With a creator, don't come to me as a creator because I'm a black man and I have an opinion of a black man. Come to me because I'm right. Come to me because you agree with my opinion, not just because, oh, you want to come and get the what does the black vote say over here? The black vote says this. Come to me because I'm right. Listen to me because my opinion is right. Don't just, oh, well, this black guy said something. Now, if you want to say, this old fuck that's been living on this planet for 4 fucking decades has actually experienced some shit and dealt with some shit and may give me options, may not give me the exact option, but give me some information about it, then yeah, come to me because I'm an old fuck. I'm 41 years old. But not just because I'm black.
I didn't see all of Soul Bunny's video either. Soul Bunny came in.
I just wanted to ask
sort
because
of, yeah,
I just wanted to ask because I just didn't know. I didn't want to mansplain to you. Honestly, it was something you already knew. So
don't worry.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't make that video for them. Any of the people that I mentioned in that video, I didn't do it for them. If I'm going to be completely honest, if I'm going to be candid, I view all of these people at this point as, you know, capital M straight up monsters. I just straight up, all of them, I just view them as monsters. And I don't want to say anything that you have to agree with. I think that you're cordial with her and like her and everything. But I just at this point, I just straight up view these people as just monsters who just like hurting other people and don't care about anything else as long as somebody else that they don't like bleeds. And it's just like, it's to the point where after time I started.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I don't.
No, that could be. Listen, I'm gonna say this could be completely like, if I'm gonna use the word like paranoid or like going too far. I'm just being candid. In my mind, personally, that's just.
Did he just throw that whole "I'm being candid" to like shit on what Soul Bunny saying? I'm just living in my truth. Yeah. He did. Right, let's go.
How I feel about these people and how they treated me. If I look at their actions, like if they look at their actions compared to their words, I think like somebody's words tell you what's in their head. I think their actions tell you what's in their heart. And if I look at their actions, like if I look at like the antagonizing things, I said somebody did something bad once, and it doesn't make them a bad person. I didn't even make a video about the Cat Black situation. If I'm going to be honest, like on YouTube, I didn't. I made one tweet, and I also did a video where I said I completely see how people. I did a video on Twitch. I did like a little mini stream that I uploaded straight to Twitch because I knew I have less viewers there. I didn't want to make this like a big thing. I didn't think it was that big of a thing, but I wanted to expand on some of my points, so I made that video there, right? But and then on like Professor Flowers stuff, I feel like I've treated Professor Flowers incredibly cordially through everything that I've did and everything that I've done. And I look at like the inciting situations, and I look at like the actions that are done, and I'm like, I'm not the one who's calling people like slurs over this stuff, okay? I'm not the one who, I'm not FD who did a stream about whether or not I'm a fly in milk who should like know his place like behind.
So I actually did bring that up. FD, a black person living outside of other black people is like a fly in milk. And if it was about your kid going to a better school and they're one of the only black people in that area versus a mediocre black school, they should go to a mediocre black school. Yeah, FD said that shit. Because he's a child. And then he did a stream talking about, hey, fly in milk. How fucking racist is that bullshit? But yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Black people who know more and who are less like tainted by their connections with like white people or whatever. I'm not the one who said that I'm doing like that said they're like Candace Owens, whose like existence online and just in the world generally speaking is a blight on black people just generally. I'm not the one who said that if I was like if we were back in like the 1800s, I would be a black slave owner torturing slaves and I'd laugh at it. I didn't make slave edits of anybody. I didn't do that. And I look at all these actions and I go, are these the actions of somebody of people who genuinely care about me and like changing my mind or making the world a better place, or are these the actions of people who are just monsters? And I had to come, and for me, where I'm sitting, and people can come to their own conclusions, from where I'm sitting, I came to the conclusion that these people are simply just monsters who just want to harm me, just to harm me. And so I decided to not make that video for them, and so I wasn't talking to them.
So you can tell that Shark, during this video right now, he's still pissed. And I give it to him, like, there are people that you don't piss off. People that would just be mellow, even tone, and throughout a lot of shit. You don't piss those people off because it takes them a long time to get to that point. And when they get to that point, it's bad. It's bad. Now I get it. He's calling them monsters, and of course we have Harden's razors here. Never attribute anything to malice, what can easily be attributed to stupidity. But we can just tell that there's a lot of malice in this cornbread side of YouTube.
And so it makes sense for all that type of stuff. But I don't know. Her like talking to me, it just rubbed me the wrong way. If I'm gonna be honest, I haven't talked about this much publicly outside of the immediate thing. So.
No, and that's fair. I mean, your name came up a lot in the conversation, and so there's a few things I want to say. So the first thing is, my goal in any of these conversations has never been to minimize anybody's experience. In fact, it's quite the opposite has been my goal. My goal has been to try and get people in whatever small way I can, from my relatively small platform.
Sure, and once again, I don't want to like stop you from doing that, and I don't care like who you're friends with, just so you know. And I'm not like you said you may have been friends with them or you're like cordial with them. I don't care. I don't want to like try and put you in and tell you like you need to like not be friends. I don't care about that. I'm just telling you like how I feel.
I don't have a history in this space of like refraining from being able to criticize my friends.
So here's one of the things that you see a lot with just immature people. There are a lot of people that, if you have a friend that are actively plotting your downfall, then fuck it, cool. Like these, I say, hey, just watch out. This person is trying to actively plot my downside. But these are YouTube spaces. Very few of these motherfuckers hang out in real life. If you were to tell me somebody that I just talked to on the internet that I can't have a fucking conversation with because you don't like their energy, and they've actively done nothing to you other than just say, I'm not really that cool with them, and you telling me that to forget them, oh no, fuck you. You have just signed your whole I'm not talking to you card. And a lot of these motherfuckers get in these clicks like, oh, you following this person? You following that person? Well, if you're following this person, you following that person. I can't follow you. And this is why, and this is my personal beef, my personal gripe. I think people use the block button and mute button on Twitter a little bit too liberally. And I'm sorry, maybe it's because I'm an old fuck that's been on this planet for 4 decades now. But somebody saying that I don't like you, or somebody saying that, yo, that's a bad take, it shouldn't be grounds for blocking them. I know, but I'm a different type of beast, type of animal. But still, like, so many people actually don't know how to have conflict resolution nowadays. And it's sad. And by the way, if you're watching, I have wow, that's a stream high, 9 people. Hey, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, like the stream.
In fact, I have the reputation for the opposite, for better or worse.
Oh no, I'm just saying like my position here. I don't care about like.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that like my goal has never been to like minimize anyone's frustration or feelings of hurt. But I feel like so first of all, I feel like there has been, and I think I will. I'm more than comfortable to say that, like, I feel like there has been an incredible amount of hyperbole directed at you. And I think that even happened in the conversation that I had with Soul Bunny, which is something that I said in that conversation you'll probably recall. I said, like, don't you feel like a lot of these things, like comparisons to Candace Owens, like, how do you like justify that as a statement? And I personally don't feel like there's been a good argument made for those types of that level of hyperbole, and I do think that type of stuff is hurtful. I want to believe that.
Yeah, she says he uses Candace Owens tactics. Yeah, Candace Owens tactics. Yeah, what those are? Lying.
That it's not a matter of people being monsters or anything like that. And I'm not saying you're not entitled to that type of feeling or not. I like to believe that that there are incentives at play here that lead people to forget. Forget their humanity, and that can be corrected. Now, maybe it can't. I've certainly encountered situations online where it's not possible to bridge that gap. I want to believe that it's possible, but I don't actually feel like it's my place or my job to like make people be friends or even encourage them to be friends. I'm just saying from my perspective, I hope that's not the case, but I completely understand why you might feel that, especially given some of the things that have been said about you, which I guess, and there was one other thing that you were saying, which was when you say, and I don't want to try and grill you here or hold you to a point, but when you say like these people, is there a like, I'm not trying to get you to name names or anything, but
oh yeah, go ahead and drop them names, drop them dimes.
I feel like it's important that I was pushing Soul Bunny on vagueness, and I felt like that was a problem. That
Soul Bunny, Tire, Dogface Gremlin, FFD partly as well, Innuendo Studios, Jesse Earl.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're like troop of people that they would like to call mostly cornbread too, but I don't know everybody who.
Foreign man in a foreign land, Little Bill. I tried to watch an Andrewism video. I kind of didn't. It was, but yeah, no, I've literally watched their videos, and I will tell you what, a lot of the videos are fucked up. Like, okay, and I'm just gonna go here, and this is gonna be like just me, and I get that some people maybe not be able to follow this, and I get that, and I understand that. I watch some of the Cornbread Tube videos, and you know what, they are in some cases really, really good. But what loses me is when you start saying, oh, this is because they're white, and instead of saying like, maybe because they're middle class, maybe because, you know, they have had a culture of suburbia, which, to be honest with you, see, this is one of the things, like one of the things that I've actually found out when they're black people that grow up in the suburbs, they also kind of get motherfucking their culture whittled down because the suburbs are fucking killing us in all types of ways. But they don't want to acknowledge that because they need those people to say that, hey, your skin color is my skin color, so we're not going to throw out your blackness. But to be very, very honest with you, if you live in the suburbs, your culture that you or come from, in a lot of cases, especially those upper class suburbs, start to get worn down. Ask me how I know.
Subscribes to that label, so I can't say necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know either. Much like BreadTube, I
Joe Lewis. I'm sorry.
tell.
Yeah, I forgot about Joe Lewis as well. I blocked him as well. Had to.
Oh, we've heard Joe Lewis, right? We've heard that Joe Lewis shit, right? But yeah, let's go.
Oh, also like Mr. Anti-Miscegenation himself as well. Endless Cemetery, that guy too. Anybody else that I missed? Because I'm going to be doing something different. Because Soul Bunny just like came on here and was just straight vagueness. All right, and I'm perfectly
I feel like
fine
she was
being,
vague on certain things, but I feel like she was unvague when she talked about you, which was something that was
I
sort of stood
personally
out.
disagree, actually, because do you know what she like from like actually I very much disagree, and I think you disagree as well, because I remember specifically, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, when she was like Candace Owens' tendencies, and you're like, what tendencies? That she just went on to then ramble and then not answer the question.
I just mean with naming names is all I was all I was trying to say there. I apologize. I would agree with you 100% in that I reviewed that conversation, and I still don't feel like I was given, or that anybody has given me at any point a solid actual allegation of what you've.
So one of the things that like really fucking gets me is if you look at that whole conversation, no, it was just vagueness, except saying that I kind of don't like this person, but I don't like them because no, you don't like them because they're not part of your clique. But let's go.
Done. And that's one of the things that has bothered me, and why I opened this conversation by asking you like what your perception of what started this was, because I think it's important to hear like your perspective on that, where like what things were being lobbed against you, and if you could recall like where it started. Yeah. Because like I mean, when I've been in that place, I brought up with Soul Bunny, I brought up a situation where someone took an argument that I made during a conversation about gender and drew it to an unbelievable conclusion that concluded with me being a danger to trans people. Was the sort of telephone game that was played, and I gave that as an example to sort of illustrate exactly what we're talking about here. What's that?
That was your old shit with Riley, right?
Yeah, it was. It started with Riley Grace Rochong, and it blew up into something so much worse that lasted for a really long time. Yeah, it was a mess, and it was terrible. And I still hold to this day, not to do what I was talking about, like relitigate drama, but I still hold that the conclusions that people drew from that were outrageous, and that what they ended up trying to label me as was completely unreasonable. Like,
yeah, I remember that conversation that RJR was having. Oh God, whatever happened to RJR? I think after that conversation that she had with Doe, RJR kind of like disappeared for a while. I think she went back to her real life. But yeah, that was an interesting blow up. But let's go.
Do you think that?
I feel like that's something here.
Do you think that Soul Bunny believes that she's done anything wrong? Like, do you think they believe that they've done anything wrong?
No, they don't. They fucking don't. They fucking don't. They don't believe that they did anything wrong at all. They think that they're right, and they think that if you criticize them about it, then you're doing the wrongness. But let's go.
On a personal level,
like in this whole situation with me and everything,
I did not get the feeling that Soul Bunny was willing to acknowledge any sort of tangible wrongdoing, and that's something that I was frustrated about. With
me personally, I think you can tell a lot about somebody based on whether or not they actually think that they are even have the possibility of being wrong in the situation. Because I think reasonable people can disagree with my position on like the cat shit and the flower shit. I think reasonable people can disagree, and I've had reasonable discussions in the comment section of both of those videos. I don't think that's a problem. But I'm perfectly fine with some things that I may have said that are possibly wrong. I talk like all the time. I stream for like 100 hours a month. So
damn, that's a lot of streaming. I'm sorry. I work 40 hours a week, and I don't know if I can actually stream that much. If I had like 4 days off, I mean, like, I don't know, I can probably get like I can. Okay. So if I got 4 days off that week, and I remember to like, instead of just gaming, get on and do some streaming. I think I could do 100 hours. If I had 2 weeks like that, yeah, sure. But let's go.
Likelihood of me saying something wrong and all of that. Yeah, is reasonably there. I just think just for me, I just never heard any of these people ever say something that they think that they've ever had the possibility of being wrong. And for me, honestly, it's like, I'm not sure if anybody's really said.
Oh no. We actually have an instant of FD actually think that he's saying something wrong. Here, let me bring that up now that I think about it. Let's see. Desktop, because I actually saved this. He actually thought he did something wrong. Here we go. Let me just enlarge. This is him thinking that he did something wrong. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Move my camera from right about there. All right. This video is not public. It was never made public. I can tell you screen recorded it. I made it clear in my last statement. This is not breaking. This is just not breaking fair use. You're invading my privacy. You made 5 to 6 video about it. I've never complained about this, but a bit. Oh no! I guess I cut out the phrase when he says that I no longer believe in this video anymore. You know, when he was defending an abuse apologist. But you know, that's just that he's not wrong with that because reasons. I'm an asshole. All right, let's go.
This, and it's probably just like another way of saying Dunning-Kruger, but I really think that like an ounce of knowledge comes with like a pound of hubris for a lot of people. And so like when you start to know more and you start to get into these like social, economic and like cultural issues, you start to believe that you know more than you actually do. And I've got from a lot of these people that the likelihood that they think that they've ever said anything wrong really on their stream or channel, maybe it's because they think that they spend like 3 weeks making a single video. It means that they've ironed out all the issues, but I don't think that's true. And even like, I know FD specifically in the first like conversation that we had, even afterwards even said that he had like a high horse ivory tower type understanding, because he explained like him versus like the debate bros is him and like the cornbread tube that they weren't like pre-cornbread tube. They're all like the generals wearing the suits in their ivory towers, and then we're like the ogres and the monsters in like the trenches doing the battling.
So yeah, no, he said that in his Breaking Bread video. He said that in his Breaking Bread video where he tried to say that people like H Bomber Guy, Contra, him at the time when he was just getting to over 200K, they were like the generals in the ivory tower, and the debate bros are just like the gladiators in the Coliseum. One explanation I saw was that this entire clique is suburban middle class and have no idea working class black folks are like, and they suffer from the sort of survivor's guilt. No, I can actually say that I know that's true for FD. He literally has said that he's equated black people to being poor. He said that he grew up in the suburbs, not like his cousins that lived in the city, because he grew up in the Chicagoland area. I know Professor Flowers, if you actually go back and watch that Vosh debate, she said that she had fitting in because she didn't feel like she fit in with the black people. And she actually admitted that in that debate. I don't know about Soul Bunny. I don't. Jesse Gender, for somebody who had so many motherfucking, and I get it. If you accumulated as much tat as Jesse did, as much as she did, that you see in the back of her, videos, her Star Trek videos, her Star Wars videos, her just geek shit videos. If you accumulated that shit as an adult, like James Stephanie Sterling, that's one thing. But chances are, it kind of came from the same place where you may have been a little bit more well to do. And I don't know. I'm not saying that for sure. I don't know. But as a motherfucker who grew up in Alburn, Gresham, and the only reason I had a computer when I was younger is because my father was a plumber and my mother did like nursing shit. It is telling how some people who want to be hood act when they not. They want to be that. They want to be. I know FD made a joke about it. They want to be motherfucking. They want to be Will Smith, but they closer to Carlton. But let's go.
I think he almost used that exact analogy, honestly. And it's just like I think it just shows a lot of like how you think about the world and how you think about other people in the space. And even she said like, oh, I think we agree on like 95-96% of stuff. And I think I think like they actually care a lot about the 95-96% of stuff. Like they care about like the 5 or 4 or 5% of stuff a lot more than the 95 or 96.
When I was talking with her, bringing that up, and I found it, and I did my best at least in this conversation to try and drill down on that to the best of my ability. Is just like, well, I don't know how you can compare somebody who you agree with on 90% of things with, by your own admission, to somebody who you definitely. Candace Owens is not. There's no. I don't believe that there's a 90% agreement between Soul Bunny and Candace Owens, which to me just further illustrates that was an out-of-pocket, exaggeratory, hyperbolic comparison to make.
Yeah, and on that idea, because like she was like more like, oh, but it went from just like Candace Owens to backpedal to just like Candace Owens tactics. Do you have any like semblance of an idea what they even mean when they say that?
No, and that was what that's.
So, here's what they really mean. This is what they really mean, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna give as much charitability as they fucking want. What they want is this. They want to say that people like Shark, people that don't agree with them, that are black, are using their blackness as a shield. The reason why they don't actually say that, the reason why they will never actually say that, is because, for one, because they're using their own marginalization as a shield. Look at Foreign. Foreign uses, literally in his title, a foreign man in a foreign land. He said in that most recent video that everybody said was dog shit, I used my blackness to say that I was cheated. Literally, that is the shit that they actually do. That is the shit that they actually do. Literally. But fuck, let's continue.
Again, that's what I said in the conversation, which is what I said. Well, what do you mean when you're talking about tactics? Because and I think the conclusion of that particular segment on Soul Bunny's part, and I want to be as charitable as possible because obviously she's not here right now, but was to say that it was lying. But I don't think that when I think of Candace Owens, I don't think of like being a liar as her sort of a characteristic right-wing trait. I think of the fact that, she's founded and been a part of knowingly and willingly a extremely prejudiced right-wing propaganda outlet, that she uses her identity to shield that outlet from harm in a very explicit and knowledgeable way to incredible riches to her own gain. She makes a lot of money. We know to some degree how much money the people there are. So I don't see that as a corollary to just lying. I felt like that was one of the sections of the conversation.
Yeah, because she didn't want to go there. She didn't want to go where it really went. Literally, it was. Well, the fact is that like he uses his identity to protect these other people. That's what they really wanted to say. However, Soul Bunny would be, hello, pot. It's the kettle calling, saying that you're black. You guys know what I mean.
Where I was, I didn't feel like I could get any other answer.
I think that she was actually telling the truth there. I think, I think that's what she actually believes in her head, is that there's two things, okay? And especially the not wanting to accept that not all black people think the same way that she does was like proof for me at the end when she was like, what I think she thinks of me. If I'm gonna think, because you took the charitable position, I'm gonna take the uncharitable position. What I think in my own head. If I'm gonna be candid, I think honestly,
I wanted to have a
Okay, let's see what Shark's position is. Let's go.
conversation with you because I want to hear your perspective on it, and I want people to be able to hear your perspective on it.
Appreciate it.
So go ahead.
Yeah. I think honestly, in her head, if you are 1, black, and 2, disagree with her, that is Candace Owens' tendencies. I think that's basically it. If you think about it, and that may sound like super uncharitable, but if you think about it for a second, what other explanation would there be for her thinking the way that she does about me? If I'm just like, not for 1, black, and then 2, like Candace, 1, black, and 2, disagree with her, that means I have to be like, on anything, really. That means I have to be like Candace Owens, really. It has to be.
Exactly.
Like me being black.
Exactly my point that I was just making. He's just hit it on the head.
And me disagreeing with her on specific things has to be like Candace Owens, because she thinks that I attack certain people to get like clout or money or like recognition, whether I know it or not, from like the white people around me. So that's why I believe what I do. I'm Vosh's pet tap dancing monkey, and so I have to think like that. And so that's why that's why I do that whether I want to or not, or think so or not. I play into white supremacy because everything that they believe, because I think what they believe is that they're like correct. I've never heard them say that they believe that they're genuinely wrong on like the core fundamental or like principle of like the things that they say. So they're right, and they're like not white supremacists. And so if you disagree on anything, that 4 or 5%, that means that you're supporting white supremacy. And any deviation from their own personal ideology is supporting white supremacy. And so you're just like Candace Owens, because that supporting white supremacy is like a small baby version, like a small grain of the massive monster of the supporting white supremacy that Candace Owens does. And that's what I think they think about me. I genuinely hate these people. I genuinely hate all of them.
So here's the thing. And you can see that a lot on the online left, where it's, if you're going a little bit, no matter what evidence that you may have, if you're going a little bit, then you're totally cut off from us. And I think that's a very, very dangerous and a very, very selective thing. If you're somebody that has the same ideals as me, but you don't want to go as far as I'm going, that doesn't mean that you're the enemy. Let's cross that bridge when it comes down to it. But if you're going to go part of the way with me to get to this goal, we can fight about it once we get there. And I think the online left has a very big problem with that. A huge problem with that. Because the one thing that you can never be on the online left is a fucking liberal. Even though the people that the writers used to talk about what liberals are, they don't understand what the liberals are. They just take it as somebody who's not as far left as I want them to be is a fucking liberal. So yeah, you cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds. Like, yeah, no, of course. That's the thing. I get that. Fuck, it comes from two places. One, if you're young, you want the world to change right away. And if it doesn't change right away, you become disaffected. And people who didn't change it right away because you told them to change it right away, then they're your enemies. And even though they may be going 90% with you, 95% with you, then they're still fascists. Or when you're young, I lost it. Oh, now I'm disaffected, and now I ain't nothing gonna work. I get it. I fucking get it. But learn how to deal with defeat instead of just saying, "Oh, this person ain't going all the way with me, so they're liberals, or they're fascists." I'm sorry, that's not how the world works. And I hate to be old manny type shit, to do the old man shit, but until you get out, you know what? This isn't even the old man type shit. This is go out in the world, interact with people that don't have the same ideological motherfucking background or bend that you have, and you'll really understand how to deal with people that you come into conflict with, not people that disagree with you on 5 to 6%. Ran over. I'm sorry.
Genuinely, all of them. Now, I after listening to your conversation with her, genuinely, like, I kind of forgot. I'm the type of person where I don't like to hold grudges too much, but I can't like deny how I feel. And right. I feel about 99% of the anger that I did when I saw those messages originally on Twitter months ago, for the first time. I kind of like have two types of anger: the sort of like flash fire anger when you see something originally that makes you upset, and the sort of smoldering anger that takes a long time to put out. And I'm just it just reminded me of how angry I am at a lot of these people for what they tried to like do or say about me, because I can't think of anything honestly more disrespectful than trying to say that you work for the destruction of your mom, your dad, your grandma, your family members, your little sister, your older brother, your nieces and nephews, your cousins. You're working for their destruction for your own personal gain and money online. I can't think of anything more disrespectful. You probably know exactly how it feels when they try to call you a transphobe for thinking for believing that trans people should be able to be like considered trans no matter what state of like transition they're in.
Yeah, no, and I actually appreciate you opening up about that and being willing to sort of say how you feel about it, because I was going to ask you, because that's something that was like.
So here's one of the things that I find interesting about this conversation. Throughout the conversation, Demon Mama, she's actually trying to be detached and trying to be kind of Dr. Phil-ish. But the more you go on with this conversation, you realize that, Demon Mama is like, I know. Like, let's get these motherfuckers because they keep going and they gonna keep pushing and keep pushing. Like, you can just tell everybody who's not a part of the clique, whether you're a live streamer, whether you're an essayist, if you're not a part of a clique of these people who want to fucking push the left to what they want it to be instead of inclusive, you kind of get this, like, I caught some strays from this shit too, and this shit pissed me off too. Like, dude, I am nowhere near a debate, bro. I am a live streamer that cover people motherfucking videos, but this shit would piss me off. Let motherfucking foreign come into my motherfucking comment section on Twitch or this motherfucker, man. And I did get one when I did the video about Turb. He kind of make hilarious. Yeah, dude, you fucking speed ran all of the negative, disrespectful turns for white people that you see on Twitter, and you thought that shit was funny because you feel that white people can't rap. What the fuck? I'm gonna need you to go back and put that back in the lab. Oh, you know what? It was put back in the lab because your boy FD did that video too about how Eminem wasn't able. He took over motherfucking Cannabis career. Cannabis, the guy who destroyed his fucking career when he tried to go after motherfucking James Smith. Yeah, that Cannabis, who literally got fucked up because he tried to, like, I don't know, take on one of the greatest motherfucking rappers at the time. And then his album came out with one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Like, for real. You're comparing Cannabis with Marshall and called it, the white lyrical miracle rapper. No, Marshall Mathers is just fucking insane. He's just fucking insane. As a matter of fact, as an example of how, whether you poor white or poor black in a fucked up ass situation, creativity comes from being in a fucked up ass situation. It has nothing to do with your melatonin content. It's when you have to be creative to take your mind off fucked up situations. And nothing about motherfucking Eminem was pushed because, like, and I know I'm getting off on a tangent. Actually, do I have it? I think I do, because I think I kept that video. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Because this is just like shit on the, like, wannabe motherfuckers who think that they good at when it comes to a lot of different things. Type hours I see. Here. Give me hold on. Yeah, this is your boy FD. I think I found it. Here we go. Mainstream.
In those kind of rhymes, in this day and age, in this period of time, trying to battle Eminem is worse than David Starr trying to battle Proof, IQ, B Fat, and Bizarre.
After the Marshall Mathers LP, he was being recognized genuinely as the top rapper in the game, and due to his whiteness, he influenced a generation of cringe, mostly white, lyrical miracle rappers for decades to come, even though if you would have talked to Eminem at that time, I guarantee you he'd have said a person that he was impressed by was Cannabis.
I'm not making this shit up. I am not making this shit up. I am not making this shit up. He literally just said the reason why Eminem actually got the push that he did because he was just white. And he was cringe, lyrical miracle rapper. Like, what the fuck? Really? 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 A cringe, lyrical miracle rapper. I am not making this shit up. This is the type of shit that they say because the first insult, the first poignant thing that they go to with somebody is their race. And you know who else do that? Racists. I can't with these people, man. I can't.
That I think goes under discussed. And I think this is complicated because I think sometimes in these spaces, and especially this is something that I brought one of the biggest criticisms against the Foreign Man in a Foreign Land video, which I don't know if you've seen it or not. Regardless, one of my critiques was that a lot of it seemed to me to boil down to personal disagreements that are being justified via a moral or political lens. There is a, and you actually touched on this here for a second, talking about how like there's a sort of a you're either with me or against me type thing, where if you disagree on anything, because I am in the position of, you know, the anti-white supremacy, that must mean you must be in the pro position. And I think that these things kind of link together. They kind of lock together to create this this need for personal distaste to be laundered through this political justification. And I do think that it produces a really hurtful outcomes that go above and beyond just like internet shit talking. Because and I brought this up in both the conversation and in my review of one of these videos that we're talking about, which was saying that like I don't really go around policing people talking how they talk about other people very often. I don't, but also it just seems odd to me when you could just say I think this person's a fucking idiot and here are my reasons, and instead it becomes no, this person is like someone who is a danger, someone who does not deserve a platform, someone who needs to be like excised from X community. I find that it gets really hurtful. And what you touched on there is like, I mean, I know firsthand how much that kind of shit hurts. Like, I'm not saying
it's like they have to have, and Demon Mom hit it right on the head when she said what she just said. It's like the people that have to have because God said so, forced behind their words instead of just saying I don't like it, I don't like this, I don't like that. No, because God said so, because it's harmful. No, you were just pissed off at what they said. No, it's causing harm for these different communities. No, this person talked about you. Nuh-uh, they're talking about all black people when they say it. No, he mentioned your name. She mentioned your actions. They said what you said was fucked up. No. They're causing pain, and I have to draw boundaries because I said something to them and they responded back and it was bad, and so still I have to draw boundaries because reasons.
that there aren't,
by the way, if you haven't done so, please like the stream.
Some people out there who are doing the things that people that are being lobbed at yourself and myself in other cases. Like, obviously, I do think that there are people who are willing to sell trans people out for their own personal gain. I think that when I bring up somebody like that, I'm willing to come with the evidence of that. But I just feel like it's a off the cuff and very, very hurtful and very hyperbolic and also very reputation damaging thing. And to sort of wrap off what I was trying to say there, I think it's really hurtful. And I think it makes these spaces toxic, because I think that it hurts not only the the general discourse in the space, but the
we know that. Here's the thing. Motherfucking Eminem wouldn't have gotten inspired by cannabis. And again, a lot of these, and it goes back to what was really happening at that time. Like, if you actually look at FD, do you know how long it took him for him finally to denounce the shit Kanye West was saying? It wasn't after the black people chose to be slaves. It wasn't after the, stalking shit that he was doing with Kim and his kids. It was, oh, now he's trying to run for president. It wasn't that shit. And like, again, I mean, like, I will tell you this. If some of FD's earliest videos, the video that he did about Mike Tyson was fucking awesome. The video that, like, what caused me to lose respect for the man is the video about Bo Burnham. And he totally just destroyed that shit. And he was like, oh yeah, look at this white man, rich white man, talking about how he's gonna say the word with his words. And it's like, dude, did you hear the song? It was a critique on the current media conversation that we were having now. And it's like he took that, and for people who didn't watch that special, he took that and he took the actual message that the special was saying, the inside special was saying, and totally warped that to say, like, oh, he's making fun of people. No, most of that video, he, like, if you know anything about Bourbon, he makes fun of himself before anything. But because FD was looking for that motherfucking audience, hey, there we go.
Individual creators, it drives people to burnout. It drives people to being in bad emotional states for no reason, based on trumped up allegations that don't have strong strong foundations in truth. And I think that's fucked up, and I don't like it. I think it's bad. And I can't help but feel like a lot of sympathy and empathy.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit to this point.
And I
Let's go to the Professor Flowers section.
Because I feel like I've treated them incredibly well for the most part. Like I leaked my DMs with Flowers and everything in the video I made, and it was just like they reached out to me and was like, I saw your thing. I know you disagree with me, but I think I can explain myself better. And I'm going to be making another video. If you don't like me after that, then it's fine. And I was like, it's fine. I'm perfectly fine. Even though I had some stuff to disagree with you with, I completely understand. And if you make it, I'll listen to it. I can't find myself to have a lot of hatred for somebody who wants to make the world a better place. And then after that, they block me and everything. I never reached out to them. I never spoke about them ever again after that situation. And then afterwards, just with everything going on, with some people coming into my own chat to try to like screech slurs at me, and then getting mad that they got banned by like the auto mod and everything.
Yeah, Turb. This is the conversation that he had on this video. Turb. Yeah. Turb came out and he called them, he said the N-word, and like, if you've been on the internet as long as, live stream with people like Shark, and even in mine, if you go on, if you are in politics on Twitch, there are people that would just come in and spam the N-word or close to the N-word. And I'm sorry, I don't get offended by it, but there are people that will be offended by it in my chat. And it's just like, yeah, no, like, dude, like, calm yourself. We can't use that in this space here. But yeah, that's what happened with that one.
And then all of these people afterwards to like play the victim and then farm content and clout off of like the apparent of my apparent suffering. And everything. Thankfully, I didn't suffer that much through like all of this, like monetarily or like reputationally. Thankfully, everything was perfectly fine. I have a really good community, and I can thank them for that. And I think in the midst of it, I think I lost. It was the third day in the history of my channel that I've ever lost subscribers, and I think I lost 17. I lost 17 subscribers that day. And when I dropped my video, I gained an extra 700. So thankfully,
there you go.
Yeah, so thankfully everything was like mostly okay. But I don't really care much. I don't really care much about the career harming thing or like the personal harming thing. It's just like I feel like I gave them enough benefit of the doubt, and I was like good enough to them, and then the way that they just treated me after that it just really filled me with rage, and I'm still very angry about them. I genuinely like I hate all of these people, and and just like moving forward, I don't really want to speak to any of them ever again. I know, like, and shout out to everybody on like that that like now a bit old like FD stream where he talked about like the fly in milk type thing. And like shout out to all of the black people who went on there to like defend my honor.
I think I want to go over that stream too. I know, guys, I'm trying to go over different content where I'm doing a lot of these long form debates type things or long form reviews of these streams. And I'm sorry here. Let's actually just look at that. Yeah, see, this is shit. This is the shit. Like, this is literally a fly in the milk experience. Come on now. Come on now. And I think that is the video that I did. I actually have it. But yeah, no, this a fly in the milk. As somebody who was technically labeled an Oreo, it's a weird experience that I had a weird experience with my blackness. Despite me liking white things, I would still get bullied ruthlessness for my blackness due to taking great offense to my black peers, and they said I wasn't black enough. This is FD. This is FD the channel. This is his whole idea as a comment. But no, this is what the discussion that Shark was talking about. This is the discussion. And you know what? Save that to a playlist. But let's go.
Or whatever, where they were like, I think calling Shark this, that, and the third is like pretty fucked up, honestly. And I don't think that you should say anything along those lines. And I think it's great and everything, but like it's more like it's less of a YouTuber level, and it's more on like a human level of like, yeah, it shows me what's in their heart and what they would like do to me. Because even on the Tyerb stuff, like I never spoke to Tyerb outside of like the Twitter back and forth, but I did like. Some of you will remember us talking about tokenization and like me being like talking about being tokenized or like if I'm tokenized or my opinions on that, because I don't talk about this stuff like super often, if I'm going to be honest with you. And
you got to understand, to a lot of these people, if you're not talking about it night and day, if you're not making it the whole crux around what your channel actually revolves around, then you don't care about black issues. If you don't spend every day saying you need to listen to me because I'm black, blackity black black black, and because I'm blackity black black black, you got to listen to me on this black subject. Even Foreign Man did it when that video that I covered on him. I'm glad that he listened to me because I'm black. No, listen to me because I'm right. Listen to me because of my lived experience. Don't just say, hey, look, let me pull out my quarter to listen to a black man. Well, let's go.
I used his video because he did talk about me in that video. So it was another one of those like mini like 15-second clips where they just like bring me up for like the shortest amount of time, and then they never talk about me ever again. I guess they only like bring me up for a second to either like take a swipe at me or like like say that my position in the space is compromised, and you all only allow me here because I'm the local darky. So you all can use as your own personal shield to shield you all from racism or whatever. That's my only usefulness here for anybody in the space. That's the only thing that they think about me. And I was just like, I brought up his video to specifically talk about like, I'm glad that there's other like younger, like my age black people in this space, and I would like to like connect through content a bit. I didn't even criticize his video. I linked to the video. I said it's a good video. I had like a couple of things to say about the way that he used the term like tokenization, and I wanted to touch on it because I hadn't had an opportunity to talk about tokenization outside of like a conservative talking about it. Now I can talk about it in the space, and that was really interesting and really cool. And then he used that as an attack against me to say that I like tore up his video after it. It's just
so, and this is the thing. It's you need to listen to us 100% and agree with us 100%, or else you're dead to us. And the thing about it is, and I will say this shit, like no lie, the fact that they keep Bad Bunny in their group of friends and people, come on now, Bad Bunny, excuse me, Kira Chats. I don't. Fuck. And you know what happens? and you actually see it. So here's the thing. This is some of the things that they do. And what people don't realize, now that Jessie is a power mover in this group, she kind of was like, she's a power mover in this group. But remember when her video about Matt Walsh was taken down, and it was really fucking hurtful to her? And like, that's when you had Kira Chat's Bad Bunny reach out to her and actually try to envelop her in this group. And now she's fully enveloped in a group of just one consciousness. I don't know, like some sort of hive mind or collective. I wonder what show talked about a collective hive mind. Was it Sun Path? No. Star Road or Solar Trek. I don't know. Anyway. And like, they actually tried to do this shit to Vosh. I know, surprisingly. They tried to get Vosh to bend the knee to come into their group. Because if you actually look, Vosh had 2 conversations with this one woman who tried to kind of finesse him to try to see how he like utterly destroyed Professor Flowers in the debate, and how, no, she didn't really say that. Like, they sent the chick to him twice. And he was like, no, I'm not going to bend the knee on that shit. They're trying to actually build their coalition to the way people that think about shit like they do, and when you don't, then you're dead to them. That's why FD, when he says, I'm not gonna go anybody's stream but somebody's black, and that's why he went on Shark, and Shark just was like, no, dude, you sound fucking stupid. And he didn't say that, but it's like, you sound, you know, your points in this video were just bad. And look, that started the animosity. This thing with Endless started the animosity. Joe Lewis, again, all of these people, they try to get you in with somebody that they think, because you share some menial, like minuscule point, to try to get you into their way of thinking. And then once they get you in there, they try to beat you to conformity. But I'm sorry, people who have more of a sense of self and are not just blind to, oh well, I need to woo myself to make myself feel better, they're not gonna fall for that bullshit. But let's continue.
I don't know what else to do for a lot of these monsters. Honestly, I can't think of them as anything else but monsters for how they treated me. And so I had to block literally all of them. I blocked all of them, and I continue to block more of them even still today. I had an extra like 4,000 people to my block list, and I think that's honestly like the best thing moving forward. Because I used to be a little bit like,
the only thing you can do.
Yeah, I used to be a little bit like, I talked to them a little bit. I was like in the like middle space. I'm kind of like you, a little bit in that like little middle space in between like the two communities. But like I can't bring myself to hate somebody that I have like some slight disagreements with when they want like most of the stuff that we do. I don't feel like talking about a lot of the disagreements that we have in the space honestly is super important, because I don't think a lot of them are super like important to talk about. I feel like it's just like farming content to farm content because it seems bigger to you because it's in your personal space. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's like means that much on like a global scale level. I would rather like dunk on a Ben Shapiro video than dunk on a leftist video, if I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the time. Yeah. And I just and so I'm just like, man, what do I do? And so I just had to come to the conclusion that I just need to break off from all of these people and never talk to them again. I just can't. I like, I'm still like, when this has happened, I was thinking to myself, I have like to judge how mad I am. I helped it was put together for me with like a therapist. Like a little while ago. I had like a little list.
And we're gonna finish on here because I need to prepare myself for dinner and get prepared for it. But we're gonna let him say this particular point, and this is a real poignant point. Let him go.
I have some questions I asked myself to judge how mad I am, and like the last big question on there is, if I was dying of an uncurable disease and one of these people was the only person with the antidote, and I just had to reach out and ask for it to get it, would I do it? And I honestly, I had trouble answering yes. And I still, to this very day, have trouble answering yes. I think I would rather die than speak to a lot of these people ever again in my life. And I can't imagine reaching out to any of these people who, with the hubris, with the antagonism, with the hate that like wells in their heart, to like leave them be like around me or my community ever again. I just can't fathom doing that, because they just don't care about anything besides making other people suffer and making money off of other people suffering. And that's basically it, especially with that foreign video, like farming content off of like Keffels and Vosh and whatever. calling me a slur in the video again, specifically just to get more people into your boring ass, dry ass, poorly put together, poorly scripted, shitty video that barely said anything or added anything new to the situation, and then changing the thumbnail after you got your clout and your little like clout bucks off of it. I just think it's just crazy. That's the only video I've ever made. Me responding to them. That's the only video I've ever made on this shit. As they continue making videos calling me slurs and saying that I'm with Candace Owens and hating on me.
So I'm gonna cut it off there because I'm getting a little bit tired. But this is the shit that actually pisses me off. A lot of these people, they would crumble at the sight of talking to a conservative about their point. They are killing the movement that so many people have worked so hard to do because they think they've outgrown the debate bros or the live streamers. Where I'm gonna tell you guys this. If people like Vosh, Keffels, Demon Mama, Shark, if people like that left, if they cut down their channels tomorrow, who you gonna have? Hassan? And I will tell you this. Don't think these people won't turn on Hassan. Don't think they won't. They will turn on Hassan. Actually, some of them are starting to turn on Hassan because he's their quote unquote next biggest target. Don't think they won't. Because what these people want is power. That's all they want. They want power. They don't want motherfucking they don't want to resolve the issues. They want to sit nicely and comfortably in their seat of power to say who gets to be a leftist and who doesn't be a leftist. And I'm sorry. They would crumble if we had a Gamergate 2. They would crumble if they had to deal with, oh my God, I just had to watch a motherfucking It's a Gundam video where he's just rattling off at some of the craziest shit. Oh my God, I had to motherfucking listen to some of the crazy shit that, like, they don't even have, like, you know the fucked up part about it is, they don't even dress politicians. You get videos where I will give Noah Sampson credit. He talked about the motherfucking red pill for like 3 videos. But if they had to deal with some of the shit that a lot of these red pillars even talk about, they would fucking crumble. All because their feelings were hurt. Or, which I suspect what they would really do, is start dipping into that same racism and misogyny in order to fight these motherfuckers. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs by October the 1st, which I'm in like earshot away. So, you know, yay. I'm going to cut this video segment here. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that I was late. Again, I was being a big brother, uncle, and son today, so I'm sorry I was a little bit late. I'm going to be more consistent about streaming daily. I know. Yay. Woohoo. But I do want to just say thank you guys for just allowing me to entertain you guys. Keep an eye out for the schedule that I'm going to put up tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be returned to like short segments, at least for tomorrow. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Remember, touch titties, always with permission. And take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. They're probably afraid of that because then people don't hate each other. Then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy? I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with and NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too. That some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's all
Is that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.